Hey guys, welcome to another episode in the playthrough of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. The idea of today is to get to a destination that I probably will never get to in real life. We will be flying from Baghdad International Airport, maybe even over Abu Ghraib. Abu Ghraib, that's like that where the prisoner complex was located, I think in the Second Iraq War, and then we will continuing further on to the end point is some kind of military airfield some 30 miles eastwards, but we will be flying over Fallujah, and that's of course also the location of the second Gulf War, in which a lot of heavy city urban battles and fighting went on. So I was just curious. I was like, okay, what's another interesting location? And that one popped to mind, just to see the layout of the land and Iraq in general. It's not really like a location I look forward to spending in real life, but of course it is quite fascinating to see how that country actually is laid out from the skies. And the same, what I also wrote on my list, but that will be maybe the next one, is North Korea. I would also never will visit North Korea, I'm pretty sure. But I would also like to see how that country actually looks up from the air. So that is the plan for now. It's not that long of a flight. So maybe I can even do 2 trips today. That would be cool. But we don't have the fastest airplane, so it will probably take an episode or 2, this endeavor. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm looking forward. I will skip the official checklist. By the way, this plane has like multiple checklists. Yesterday, in the previous episode, I was in the when I flew to Rome, I was in the Cirrus SR-22. And that only had one checklist before starting the engine. This one has like before takeoff, normal takeoff. I was expecting that in the SR-22 as well, but simply was not there. Anyways, I know this checklist by head, so let's open up the fuel pump. Let's prime a little bit of fuel into the carburetors. Parking brake is on. Let's put the alternator or magnetos, whatever they are, on, and the battery on. Then we don't really need lights in this environment. It's pretty nice weather. It's actually live weather, so January 2020 it still looks pretty good in Iraq. That might be a reason to actually visit it in real life as well. Anyways, dome light, nope. Pitot heat, not necessary. That's for icing conditions. Navigation lights, let's put them on. Strobe lights, beacon lights, taxi, and landing. Yeah, why not? Landing I will keep off. Why waste? Why wear out the light bulb if it's not necessary and waste the electricity? Carb heat is not necessary. That's also for icing conditions. Throttle, we will put it in like 20%. Mixture, let's put it fully rich, if it wants to go all the way in. What the hell? What's up with the throttle thingy? It's a little bit, has its own mind, so to say. Anyways, let's put it there. Flaps. I'm not even sure what I need for takeoff. I think let's just do 10%. These are the fuses. Cabin air, not really necessary. What the hell is over there? That's also cabin air. Or that's cabin heat, I guess. Yeah, this is cabin heat. This is, I cannot interact with this. This is the ADF. I did do some pre-flight preparation, trying to get some radio beacons to help me guide to the destination. There are hardly any radio beacons in Iraq anymore. Maybe they were destroyed by the war or they were never there in the first place. Not really sure. but it's not really necessary. We just need to the airfield I think was in the direction of 330 degrees or 150 degrees. I think if we take the exit runway 33, so in the direction of 330 degrees, we just make a left turn heading to the west. I'm not sure whether I said east before or I was only thinking east before, but it is west actually. And then it's simply follow the highway. There's a highway which crosses Abu Graib, and then afterwards it ends up in Al Fallujah, and a little bit after Al Fallujah, more to the west, is the destination airport. So I don't really need beacons for that. Pretty straightforward. I'm just also looking over the cockpit to, after spending some time in the SR-22, to get familiarized again with the Cessna. I do really find this a charming plane. It's really like a moped almost, like underpowered, small, but it really gives the feeling. It's all analog. It's no touch screens and GPS. It's old school, and that's, I think, the best way to learn. I'm still a newbie, of course. So here we have the ADF. I think it's the ADF. Yes, it is the automatic direction finder with the ADF needle over here. This is the amperage or voltage. I'm not even sure what it is. I assume that are amp breaths. I'm not sure whether that's a B or it should supposed to be an E, but I think it's amperes. What do we, or is it not? I'm quickly checking it out. 1 second. Let's just Google amp breaths, what it said over there. I don't think that is anything, but just to be sure. No, that's not really a word, amp breaths. So I think it is, the B is like a little typo. I think it just should be amperes. Anywho, besides that we have the ref counter over there. Here we have the old school magnetic compass. Over here I don't think we can interact with it, but this is the dome lights. We can interact with it via the buttons over here. That would be this one. Yes, it's on. It's also the dashboard light, so to say. Not needed for now. While we're back here, let's go over here. Fuel quantity fully up, fully tanked up. Parking brake, pool is on. Oil temperature, oil pressure, alternator and battery. Primer we use. This is the ignition. Now we can just as well go and start it up. Right alternator or magneto, left one, both, and then start. There we go. These are the lights. This is the trim wheel for nose down, nose up, take off. That's like neutral trim, I guess. These are the fuses. Not sure what this one is. 5.5. It's a special fuse. High voltage or high amperage. Not even sure what's on fuses. I think it's amperage. This is the phone. You cannot really interact with it. The rudder pedals down below. This over here, I'm still not quite sure what that is. That are just more fuses, I guess, plus an on and an off. Maybe a master fuse or something. This is the ADF functionality. REC, I think it's receive. BFO is blah 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 frequency oscillation. That is if you want to have an audio indication as well from your, if you're like in the correct direction or you're nearing it, I guess you hear something over the intercom system. I always forget, there are so many abbreviations in flying, it's crazy. But ADF, BFO, meaning it's some kind of a very technical term, beat frequency oscillator. For anybody who is interested, probably no one. It's all like legacy, instrumentation, instruments, because it's all really made redundant by GPS and stuff, I would assume. What the hell do we have over there? Hours. That are the flight hours. Apparently, it's either 37 or 3 hours and 7/10 of an hour. Yes, I guess. No, the 10th is all the way to the right, I guess. So I actually have 37 hours in this plane, which could be. I did quite some flying in it already. These are the two radio and navigation units, redundancy, I guess. So these are the comms, these are the navigation ones. Here we have the transponder, where you can input the so-called squawk code, 4 numbers, off standby, on altitude or alternative, I have no idea, and test, I think. And then the ident, I'm not sure whether this is only like a light or also a button. I cannot interact. There I can interact with it. That's, I think, to send out your squawk codes to, for instance, the air traffic control tower, so that you are linked up to it and they can see you on their radar. Here we already went through it, the lean mixture, air fuel ratio from rich to lean, cabin air, cabin heat, the flaps in 10 degrees position. Let's check it out if they work. So, oh, that was the wrong button. This is 20 and this is 30, and let's get back to 20 and then back to 10 degrees. Let's see if they also go all the way back up. They do, very nice. Then what do we have? Fuel, we did everything down below more or less, and then here the primary flight display. So we have the airspeed indicator going to approximately 100 nautical miles per hour. We have the, I forgot the name of this one. Turn coordinator. It also shows like how much the plane is rolling, I guess. And over here in the center is the main attitude indicator showing roll and pitch. Here we have the gyroscopic compass, which is, I'm not really sure. Yeah, it's used because the magnetic compass can have deviations when you're like in a turn or not in level flight, which the gyroscopic compass, I guess, overcomes, so it's a bit more accurate. But you do have to calibrate the two periodically. Here we have a clock, here's the altimeter. This one, the small one is hundreds of feet, the middle one is thousands of feet, and the very thin one, I think, is 10,000 of feet. Here we have I forgot also the name of this instrument. Anyways, it's also a bearing indicator, just like the ADF. The ADF points into the direction of like a radio beacon, and this one, I wrote my own guide. I have it open now on my phone, I hope. No, I do not. I have the link to that guide, by the way, in the description. I'm now actually using my own guides. I hope I do. Did I? Yes, here I have it. It's on the Microsoft Flight Simulator forums, under the guide section, beginner guides, and I know that I described this instrument there, and I I think this is the RBI, relative bearing indicator, showing the direction to a radio beacon from the ADF. And then you have the turn coordinator, that's this one. It also indicates slip or skid. So I think whether you're like not in like a straight or balanced flight path, like for instance due to crosswinds. And that is like the little ball that is over there. This ball in a fluid will move if you're like not in a balanced flight path, like you are slipping or skidding. I'm not really sure what it all is anymore, but this is also, this whole reading up aloud is also for me just slowly but surely get accustomed to all these instruments and abbreviations and concepts, etc. Anyways, we have the by the way, this one I forgot, the vertical speed indicator, indicating your rates of climb or descent, I think per minute, 100 feet per minute. And then I glossed over the one that I needed. I think it would be one second. One second. There's also like a radio magnetic indicator. I don't think that's what these are. I think these are course deviation indicators, CDIs. Instrument indicating lateral position in relation to a course. Yeah, so that is, this one is more like your heading, the direction your aircraft is pointed at, which is not necessarily also the direction of travel, because you can have like crosswinds and then your actual flight path diverges from the direction the aircraft is pointing to. But the course deviation indicator actually gives the lateral position in relation to a course. And it's also called an omni-bearing indicator. If aircraft is left to the left of a course, the needle reflects to the right and vice versa. So then this needle will reflect to the right. The OBS omni-bearing selector, that's this one knob, allows selection via the outer ring, so you can turn it around. Of the radial straight line between station and our aircraft to track to or from a VOR station by turning the card to align its relative heading to the heading indicator. Holy shit, it's quite confusing all at once. Heading and heading indicator, I think. Yeah, this is the heading indicator. It's like the gyroscopic compass, so to say. So you can, I think, align these two, like the degrees on them. That's allows selection of the radio to track to or from a VOR station by turning the card to align its relative heading to the HI heading. Alright, it's all been quite a while ago. This is really like manual, analog, old school flying. I'm a newbie, as I mentioned, so I'm not fully sure myself how it works again. But anyways, I will quickly finish this reading. When tracking a radial, only left-right deviation is indicated with a single needle. So I think that will be this vertical needle, indicating whether you are left or right of your flight path. The straight line between the station and the aircraft. So that is your radial. For instrument landing, you also need to track the approach glide scope. That's like your vertical path and your rate of descent. And thus vertical deviation may also be displayed on a CDI, on this instrument, when using ILS. And I would think that the vertical deviation is indicated by this horizontal bar. So probably if you're too low, it will move upwards, and if you're too high, it will move down, that you are above the desired glide slope. So anyways, that are more or less the instruments. And I forgot these ones. This is like also I think what they call an annunciator panel with lights. But anyways, these lights light up when near an airfield. I think you have marker beacons, like radio beacons, and you have like an outer, a middle and an inner one, depending on how close to the airfield you are, to the runway. And I think they will light up if you are within their range or you cross them. I'm not really sure. And here you have like a volume knob and a dimmer knob. I'm not sure what that's all about. Probably the lights, whether you can dim them. Maybe they also make a sound. You can adjust the volume. And or is that the volume of all the audio in your microphone? Because I don't see a volume button here. Maybe this is like the generic, also the internal comm system in the plane, like the speaker system and stuff. Headset, maybe this is like the overall master volume, I'm not sure. Test button. Here you have low sensitivity, high sensitivity. I think that relates to those marker beacons. I think one is less precise, but maybe a longer range, and the other one is more precise with a shorter range. I'm not sure, but it's something like that. And here you have the flip between speakers and I assume it says phone. Yes, so here is the phone. And you most likely also have some speakers in the plane over here. So that's pretty much concludes the, I wanted to say quick run through the cockpit, but actually it's already 25 minutes almost the whole episode. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm calling it a deep playthrough. It's thorough. Let's do a quick walk around the plane. We'll show the plane. By the way, no. Oh. So it looks pretty airworthy, I would say. The lights are on. Not that we really need them in this climate, but still. I'm actually pretty curious how warm or cold it is in January in Iraq. Anyways, let's check that out right about now. So we are going to tune into the information services.
Baghdad Airport information, Oscar 13000. Wind tree, 16 at 10. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, Few clouds at 1,200 feet. Few clouds at 4,200 feet. Few clouds at 12,100 feet. Temperature 21. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.09er. Visual runway tree left and ILS runway tree right in use. Landing and departing runway tree left and runway tree right. DSR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Oscar.
Alright, so we have the altimeter set.
Baghdad airport information. Papa 1300.
And that is for the air pressure that we are now encountering. And I'm not sure whether 21, I think that was the temperature, whether that's Fahrenheit or Celsius. I assume Celsius, but let's double check whether it could be Fahrenheit. I don't think so, but Celsius to... It's so annoying that there are different scaling systems for all that stuff. Celsius to Fahrenheit. Right, here we go. 21 makes go. 21 degrees is 70 Fahrenheit. Did it say 21 or did it say something else? My log is gone. Alright, let's...
Baghdad airport information. Papa 1300. Wind tree 16 at 10.
So then we do Fahrenheit
Visibility,
to Celsius.
Sky condition. Few clouds at 1,200 feet. Few clouds at 4,200 feet. Few clouds at 12,000 feet. Temperature 21. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.09er. Visual runway tree left.
Yeah.
And ILS runway
To be
tree right here.
honest,
Landing and departing runway tree left and runway tree right.
to be totally honest, I think it could both be. Yeah, 21 degrees Celsius would seem quite hot for January, I would say. On the other hand, in summertime it can become I think 40-50 degrees Celsius over here, or 45. But 21 degrees Fahrenheit is -6 Celsius. I also don't rule that one out, that it's just below freezing point. Although maybe in that case you would see a bit more frost or anything. So forgot about that. I have my own Celsius. Here we have it. This is my own temperature indicator. So it indeed is Celsius because it's the inner one that goes to, right, 21. Yes, and that is I think about 60 or 70 I just cannot read it, but let's say this is 0, 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, so that's 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Although I was pretty sure that I saw another number. 69. The conversion says 69. 20, 40, and here it says 60. 21 is 60 degrees Fahrenheit over here, and on the online converter it says that 21 Celsius is 69 Fahrenheit. Alright, really weird. Let's do another online converter. Maybe it was a wrong one. 21 degrees calculates. Yeah, again 69.8, 70. So that seems to be a little bit off. I would say that the Fahrenheit would be over here for 21. Unless I am totally again overlooking something obvious. But whatever, there are, yeah, it's good enough. It is 21 degrees in Iraq, Baghdad, Iraq on January, I think we are 3rd now. So yeah, that's a pretty nice temperature. Anywho, hitting the half-hour marker, have to cap the episodes at half an hour, otherwise the file size becomes too big. I will be continuing in the next episode, guys. Hope to see you there. I was just distracted a bit. Like I'm not sure whether I set the correct bitrate actually in Shadow Play, but I will check that in between episodes. In the next one, I will continue the flight. We will take off to Abu Graib and Fallujah. Hope to see you there. For the meantime, do not forget, always do keep on gaming. See you later.